Alright guys, on an C55 AMG, this is the M113 motor, I believe. This is the naturally aspirated, not supercharged motor, but it's going to be similar for the supercharged motors as well. First thing you're going to want to do is drop the pan. It's not what is it? The pan, protective plastic underbody cover tray, whatever you want to call it. Take this. It's a 5/16 and just remove all those screws. They are in this configuration. There is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Remove those. I'm also going to pressure wash this whole thing, but then what you do, back to the car, you're going to use either a 1/2 inch or a 13 millimeter to remove the drain plugs. Get under here. So here we have drain plug number 1 right there. You see it? And then the other one is going to be back there. And that one, I'll show you, looks, you can't see that way, can you? Oh, by the way, you don't have to remove that plastic, that's the transmission pan. You don't have to remove that, but this is right here. See this plug right here? It's also a 1/2 inch or 13 millimeter. You don't have to, I already loosened it, that's why there's oil there, but you don't have to remove this plastic tray to get access to it. So you're going to want to drain that one first. Actually, wait, I might have to remove that plastic because it's going to get all over the oil. Alright, never mind, you're going to have to remove this, we're going to remove this plastic tray as well to drain that oil out. And then remove this one, and then we'll come back when we're done. Okay guys, so you can actually just move it out of the way like that. I'm going to turn the camera around, there you go. So just push the tray over. I didn't feel like crawling under there. And getting that out. And then the oil. Should, hopefully. Not go all over my garage floor. Oh. Well, a little bit, but not too bad. Nice and clean. This copper washer on there, you're going to want to replace. They're like a one-time use copper washers, crush washers. So before you put the bolt back, make sure to replace that. And the next one we're going to do is that one there. Already loosened it. I don't think these are magnetic. I think they might be. I think it might be a magnetic tip. Okay. Okay, while that's draining, what you're going to do is take a 14 flute, or a 76, I think millimeter, or 14 flute, these sizes here. And then what I do is I take a 3/8 drive adapter to a 1/2 inch, because this sometimes they're on there really tight, and then all you do, you just put it in there and you turn it until it goes, and then you can just open it by hand. You're going to want to do this while you're draining the oil, so that it so that the oil, all the oil drains a lot faster for you. Also, what I do is I'm going to take some of leftover brand new oil from Liquimoly, and what you'll do is I'm going to add some oil to here while it's still draining. And the only reason I do this, you don't have to do a lot, but it's good to do a little bit, because what you can do is get all the old oil out, right? So all of it. So just add a little bit. Let me see if I can do this with two hands. There you go. That's all you need. Just add a little bit, let it drain out. You can even hear it draining out now more. And then you should be good to go. And then open the second drain plug and do the exact same thing. Next thing you're going to want to do is remove the oil filter assembly. It should have a long, there you go. Let that drain out a little bit. We're going to put a little bit of oil in here too to get this old oil out while it's draining. And then put this down. This is how it looks like there. You're going to replace this seal and then this seal as well. There's two seals when you remove that old filter. And then we're going to add some oil right to the housing. To get that old oil out of there. Guys, one more thing. So I removed this oil filter, and I always, this is a vehicle that I just bought kind of as a beater, C55 from the auction. An easy way to kind of tell how the vehicle was taken care of. In this case, I don't think it was taken care of too well, because you see this filter, it says made in China, and it's an STP filter, which means that the owner of this previous vehicle probably went to like a Quick Lube or Midas or Fast 5 oil change place, which, you know, those places change your oil for $20-$30, and they claim to use full synthetic and everything. But this is the kind of crap that happens. Is, you know, this filter here, this one is probably $8. This one is probably $4 to $5. So you're saving $3. Buy the proper parts, get the right oil. Get either a Mann or a Hangst filter. They're made in Germany, very good quality, compared to the crappy ones that you get from China. See, here's your new seals. Comes with all new seals and the filter itself. See how nice that is? This one's actually made in USA, which is even better. There you go. Made in USA. But yeah, don't, please, especially if you have an AMG or any Mercedes vehicle, BMW, Audi, don't take it to one of those quick lube places, because I mean, I've heard horror stories where they've underfilled, overfilled, cross-threaded the drain plug, I mean, stripped the drain plug, you name it. So even though you think you're saving money, you're actually not. What I would do is just either do it yourself if you don't want to spend, you know, $300 at the dealer, or find like an indie shop, a local indie shop that can use the right parts, that can use, you know, the right oil, so you don't have junk like this going through a very expensive engine. We're also doing the air filters later. Okay guys, so one more thing I forgot to mention. I thought there was two seals, one here and one here. There's actually 1, 2, 3, 4, and there should be a fifth one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which I cannot find. I see 1, 2, 3. So either I'm missing something or what, but if I find it, I will definitely let you know. Here's the new seals here. Okay guys, so I think I figured it out. There's the new seals on, so there's 1, 2, and then back to back 3 and 4. There's and how I figured this out was there's 2 grooves here. There's 2 notches. So I'm guessing they just wanted a double seal in here. If I'm wrong, could somebody in the comment section please tell me where the other one goes? And here's the last one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, do you think they do all these different seals for you and take their time when you're doing you know, a $20, $30 oil change? I don't think they would even bother. So that's done. We're gonna put the filter on. How it goes on, I believe it's universal, but I always put the writing inside the actual assembly. So writing inside, and it will actually lock into place like that. You'll hear a little click. It's a very tight seal. There you go. Shouldn't wiggle or anything like that for you. So now this is ready to be installed back into the oil filter assembly. You don't have to tighten it down all the way because we're still going to be draining oil from the second drain plug. And I know I'm taking my time here, guys. You know, I can't stress enough that a lot of people say, oh, an oil change is an oil change. You know, what could you mess up? Well, there's actually a bunch of things you could mess up, especially if the guy's doing it as, you know, getting paid $10 an hour or $12 an hour, and he's trying to knock this out within, you know, 10-15 minutes and move on to the next car. You got to take your time with these engines. So even though I'm doing some steps which you may feel are unnecessary, doing it this way and taking 20 more minutes to do the job the right way, even though this is very easy, I would still recommend doing it this way. Okay guys, so here's our new copper washer. What I do is I just buy them in these packs. These are OEM. You gotta get there's cheap ones and there's expensive ones. Get the expensive ones, they're like $10 for a pack. And you can reuse these over and over and over because none of the oil filters anymore come with a new copper washer. Here's the old one. As you can tell, it's just smushed and it's like rounded off. So you'll have a leak potentially if you reuse it. So we're gonna put this one back in and open up clean this off if there's any metal shavings on, and put it back in. Just when you tighten this, do not over tighten this. Just hand tighten it, but don't crank on it. It's not a lug nut, right? So make sure it's tight, but not super tight, if that makes any sense. From this other drain plug here, guys, up top, only about maybe half a quart of oil will come out, if that. And make sure you have an empty pan. I did a E63 oil change before, and I thought this 10 liter, it's like a 15 liter pan would be enough, but it's almost overflowing, so I might have an issue, but luckily it's over. We're just gonna add a little bit of oil, have all the old crap drain out. And also you have to do the oil changes on these things every no more than 4,000 miles, guys. Don't follow that 10,000 mile oil change interval. At the most, you want to do 4,000 miles. You can push it to 5,000, but it's not worth it for such cheap maintenance. You know, you're looking at roughly $80 for oil and for a filter, quality filter and quality oil. It's not worth it to not do it. Let me show you guys exactly what I mean. So you put the oil in, okay? Now the drain plug is still open. Now watch this. You go in the bottom. You see how it's clean? It's draining out clean oil. That is when you put the drain plug back in. When all the oiled oil is out completely. By the way, the jack, I put it on the passenger side, and the jack I put on the passenger side location. The only reason I did that was because if you notice, the drain is on this side, so I want all the oil to come out. That way if the car's at an angle, the oil will drain from the passenger side to the driver's side out here. Okay guys, so the filter is in, the second drain plug is also in with the new copper washer. What I'm using here is a diesel 1540 weight. I'm over in in Florida, we get extremely high temperatures here. Contrary to popular belief, diesel oil is actually totally perfectly fine to use in a gasoline motor, as long as it meets all of the specifications that the Mercedes-Benz requires, which in this case is right there. You can see 228.3 and 229.1. Diesel oil is actually stronger than regular motor oil at points. It's made to reduce wear on the bearings in high pressure diesel motors. So this is what you're going to use. You're going to do 9 quarts, just under 9 liters rather, 9 liters of oil, and you should be good to go at this point.